Hi, I'm Mark Dice, and welcome back to Let's Play Onimusha Tactics. Let's see. Oh, we're here. Oh yeah, because I didn't finish it. Derp. Well actually, did I finish it? Yeah, I think I did, but I have no idea. I don't remember, that was yesterday, and yesterday is too far away. Yeah, because I complained about them doing 18 damage. Yeah, so I've gotten this far. Whatever, you get to see a little repeat. But, yeah, so, let's talk about something. My roommate and her friends apparently asked me, I mean, it's polite to ask your roommates, in general, asked me if they could smoke weed. And, you know, I don't smoke weed anymore. I gave that up many, many years ago. I just got bored of it, frankly. Stopped getting high, didn't really care about it. You know, it was something to do when friends were around, whatever. Not a big deal. I don't have any interest to do it anymore because of some bad experiences the last couple times. But, that's a whole nother story. So, yeah, it doesn't bother me when people, you know, smoke weed or whatever, and I don't see, like, the big deal with people, like, flipping out about smoking weed or trying to people who make a big stink about making sure it's illegal. Mostly because I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah, we already saw all this. I guess I forgot to save. Derpy derp. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to re-see whatever this is. Because apparently I didn't bother to save. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we saw this. Yeah. Alright, well, I'm gonna pause it. And I'll come back once I complete this battle. So, I'll be right back. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is where I was last at. If it's a repeat, I'll be annoyed. I think I started this one? Because this looks familiar. Sorry, I'm having like hardcore brain farts, and I can't just go look at the videos to see where I last was, because I haven't processed all of them yet. I still have like 5 more videos until I'm caught up to where I should be. Yeah, I don't think I did this one. Nope, but it looks fun! Alright, and I also got something else in the previous battle. No. Oh, I can make a Hayate spear. Ah, there it is. That's totally worth making, actually. Because she needs major attack ups. And let's make one of these spears. Minus 12 attack. Do I have enough to enhance it? Let's try enhancing it once. Let's see, 57 to 64. I think that's... Dragon's Tooth is still better, so I need to upgrade that again. Yeah, that's plus 3. 2,000. Dirty bastard. But she loses out on her other one, but I think her other one's stupid, so who cares? Who cares? Alright, we need to give you medicines. And actually... I do have power secrets and a power orb, but I don't know if I just want to use that. Yeah, I think I'm just going to use it on Onimaru. Because screw it. Don't care. Alright, let's see who has the lowest hit points. She still does. You don't need Divine Nectar. You can have Power Secrets. No. Wait, I have 2 Power Secrets? Well, apparently I do. How about you take both of those? Yeah, and on the way up to this battle, good lord, every other enemy was dodging. It was driving me nuts. Freaking Onimaru, like, couldn't get off an attack because they kept dodging incessantly. It was driving me nuts. So, let's get this started. But anyway, as I was saying, I don't hate on people that, you know, want to legalize marijuana or whatever, but I don't understand why so many people, like, claim it's so terrible for you. Sure, it makes you lazy, but, I mean, come on now. Like, if you legalize that, gave out licenses to people, and put some control on it, and taxed it, and made it cost less than, you know, currently buying it in street value of marijuana, you'd probably make a really good amount of money really fast. And, you know, there are a lot of people who say, well, don't exploit people's vices or whatever, but, like, it's not so much exploiting vices as it is people are going to do these vices anyway. You might as well legalize it, make some money off of the deal. You know, because I just don't understand why so many people have, like, a freaking, like, actually I should probably move people around just so that thing can't multi-hit them. Sorry, Onimaru. You need to get Tiger Salvo. 3 more SP. Yeah, those guys have way too much defense for their own good. That's a whole lot of enemies. Alright. That's probably as good as I'm gonna get. That's also weird, because I'm going to get used to not fast-forwarding it. But, like, I don't know. I've never understood. I understand, like, drugs that can kill you. And, like, it's kind of crazy that... Oh, you bastard. Oh, that was pretty wussy. I don't understand why we have prescription drugs for, like, stupid stuff that can kill you. Yet, like, we throw a shit fit about someone who wants to, you know, smoke weed, which is probably way less harmful than drinking a beer. So, I don't understand why people get such, like, a shit fit about it. It's like, that whole Ronald Reagan, like, drugs are bad. We will remove this scourge. No. The real quote is, this scourge must stop. Like, it was just ridiculous. And it's even more ridiculous today, looking back, thinking about, like, really, like, that's, like, your big, you know, campaign thing was the war on drugs, which cost us so much money. And it'd be so much easier if you could just get rid of, like, you know, heroin, crack, cocaine, and, like, some major players. But, like, I don't know. A lot of people talk about, like, a slippery slope and a gateway drug. Well, fucking having a beer is a gateway drug, too. It's just I think people don't want to recognize it because they like what they like. And I think it's ridiculous. But I don't know. Like, I personally don't smoke weed anymore. But I don't hate on anybody that does. Unless, like, they don't do anything with their life. And I've probably mentioned all this before. It's just my roommate wanting... I don't think she smokes. I think her friends want to smoke, and that's fine. She does about the same damage. Like, that's their business, like, you know. But, like, they kind of want to, like, come to our place and smoke weed, which I'm not, like, people always seem to think, like, oh, you can't smoke weed here because then you'll get caught. Like, really, like, that's what you're going with, because it doesn't happen like that. Like, I smoked a joint right outside of a horse cop, like a cop on a horse, and he didn't pay any mind. He had bigger things to worry about, and he clearly did not care. And like a lot of people say, like, oh, well, that's just bad policing. No, I'm pretty sure in Philadelphia, it's a bigger problem to worry about people killing each other than it is about what someone does in their spare time. And sure, like, some people do kill each other over freaking weed, but people kill each other over, like, dollars or freaking TVs. Are you going to start just banning everything that someone might get upset about and, you know, murder someone else about it? It has nothing to do with the actual item. It has everything to do with the fact that person was just unstable to begin with. So, already most of their, like, the common excuses for why, oh, he's going to die, why you should ban certain things is pretty much out the window. Like, it means your argument is invalid, because it just doesn't make any sense. And I don't have a swordsman over there. So, Kabuki, you need... Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's send Agiha. She can reach it a lot faster. But, I don't know. Like, I just think it's, like, so weird that people take, like, so much consideration, like, to, you know, spend, like, there are whole people who, like, dedicated their lives to, like, making sure there's no drugs. Like, it's a preposterous thing. Like, it's not like they're, like, drugs are something new, or, like, something that, you know, just appeared. Like, these have been around for a long time. It just hasn't been in the light until more recently. And that's when people start getting, like, a hardcore boner against anything. I mean, you could probably find any group that's looking to ban anything at any given moment. Like, there are still prohibition groups, although they're very limited, but there are people who think alcohol should be illegal. But that's neither here nor there. I just think it's, like, so weird. And, like, I don't know. Like, being around people that smoke weed all the time for a very long time, it's very strange how you can kind of detect who, like, you know, smokes good weed and who smokes bad weed. And it's even worse to, like, be around people when they're smoking, like, bad weed, or, you know, people who clearly do not get, like, that high, but they're so much more high. They're kind of, like, noobish to the whole thing. It's kind of like that freshman drunk, like, who's like, woohoo, and then just drinks, like, half a bottle of Absolute, starts puking all over himself, like, you know, pees in your drawers, and, like, just acts like a total asshat. It's more subtle in, like, kind of pot culture, but, like, there are people like that. Like, I've known people who've sold fake weed to people, and they claim to get high, and stuff like that. So it's kind of funny, like, that, I mean, you get those kind of strange groups of people. But, it's just more strange to be able to, like, be in a group and instantly be able to recognize, like, who actually smokes weed and who, like, this is their first time ever smoking weed. So, I don't know. But it's always kind of weird, like, so many people are like, oh my god, I smoked weed, I'm gonna go to jail. Oh no, I shouldn't have wasted her turn. Fuck. There's so many people that, like, instantly think, like, if you go out in public, while high, you're going to go to jail. And then there are other people who are just, like, too stupid to know, like, to censor themselves enough to, like, not be, like, a walking arrest me sign. So, I've been, like, ballsing up this episode. But, I don't know. I do think it should be legalized either way. I mean, frankly, I think that, like, baby laws, like, we don't want to do this, or, like, think of the children kind of thing, those kind of laws are always ridiculous. Like, personal goals and personal things, like, if your personal goal is to sit around and smoke weed all day, or to, like, smoke a joint after, like, a hard day at work, then good for you. Like, I'm glad you've, like, at least you understand your decision. But, like, what I don't understand is when the law intervenes with people... Ugh, more of you asshats. When the law intervenes with these people and tells them, like, what they can and can't do, like, yes, there are some limits on the things that we should and shouldn't be able to do, but monitoring, like, little stuff like that is, like, so retarded. Like, it's literally like someone just has nothing better to do than to get in the way of it. And I'm not saying, like, oh, all people should be free to do whatever the hell they want. There is some control that's required, but still, some of it's just ridiculous. Like, I'm sure if you read law books, there's all sorts of stuff, like you can't put squirrels in your pants and bet money on them and stuff like that. Like, half of these laws seem like they were created as a joke. Like, they weren't ever serious laws. They just, like, put them down there to be like, oh my god, since we made a law about it, maybe somebody will do it. But there's also this kind of, like, idea that our politicians have to, like, protect us. Like, they have to put rubber on all the corners of the tables that are out there. Like, I understand that, like, yes, there are some things that we need to protect ourselves from. That's a given. Like, there are certain, like, general dangers in society that we shouldn't have. Like, we shouldn't allow people to stockpile things like hydrochloric acid. And there's a very good reason for it. I just don't understand why there are laws for things that don't have that great of reasons. And, like, when you start babying people with laws, it gets kind of ridiculous. Like, I even think the 18 and 21, you know, drinking, smoking, pornography limit thing is totally ridiculous and dated. It's like, these people are still living in, like, the friggin' 17... No, not even. I can't even... They live in a fantasy world. Because there was never a time where pornography, alcohol, or anything like that was not prevalent in society. I mean, maybe in a few tiny societies that would be the case, but never as a major thing. I mean, come on now. Even, like, there was ancient Chinese nude lithographs, for God's sakes. Like, that was, like, the porn of their era. And I just think it's ridiculous that these people live in some idyllic world where nobody does this stuff and everybody's, like... I can't even say good. That everyone lives in this, like, bubble. And I don't understand how people think that, like, creating laws to try to make that is going to be any more effective than just telling people, like, hey, like, society frowns on this, which is a much more effective tool than it is than anything else, really. I mean, I can't think of anything else that would be more effective than kind of like a... Oh, shit. Again, I did it again. Anything that would be more effective than societal pressure in those kind of circumstances. Fuck. Well, how about you go to there and use some magic water on yourself? I'm just not paying attention to the game at all. And, like, you see it a lot with, like, I think it's ridiculous that, you know, like, the EU creating laws against saying certain things about, like, World War II or Nazis or anything. Like, that's just fucking weird. Like, it happened. Like, then you just become a denialist. Like, even if you agree or don't agree with what happened in the Holocaust, you have to admit that it happened, and there should always be an open dialogue. I don't understand why it should ever be a crime to talk about it or to do certain things involving it. revolving around like that sphere, because it was a very crucial part in history for everybody in the world, and it brought a lot of change. So not talking about it is much more harmful. And I don't understand what that law would really accomplish. Like, it would be different to say, like, you know, Holocaust museums have a right to throw people out, or, you know, charge people with disorderly conduct for, you know, creating a scene or trying to recruit people to say that, like, the Holocaust was okay. I would understand that, because that might have harmful long term. But as long as they're not, like, actively doing it or being destructive, I don't see why people get such, like, a fuck. I'm totally not paying attention today. And today is, like, not my day. I, like, went to, like, resurrect my Terraria save by creating a new world, and then, like, building up stuff. Shut the hell up. Build up a new world, and be like, don't care. Build up a new world so that way I'd have, like, you know, stuff that it would actually work. And yeah, so I went to do it, and I got real far, and then the game totally shafted me. Like, it was almost like intentionally shafted me. Looking for medicine. I pretty much died, and then I went to go get my stuff back, and there was, like, a wall of enemies. Like, even if I had all my previous gears, I don't think I could have gotten through that mess. Like, it was more enemies than I've ever seen in the game at any given time, all in one place. And all, of course, like, right in front of all of my stuff that I was trying to get back. So, I was frickin' pissed. And, yeah, I died again, so I lost all of the new gears that I just got. It's freaking driving me bonkers. So, that was definitely like a flip the table over and scream a little bit. What the hell does Magic Elixir do? Let me guess, fills all your hit points? Or fills all your SP? Stupid. So, yeah. You go over here. But, I don't know. I've never understood, like, why people make laws that don't reflect society as a whole. They only really reflect a small portion of people that don't like something. Like, people who don't like alcohol that do it because their brother died in a car accident because he was drunk driving. Like, you're skirting the real issue is the fact that your brother was a drunk. And instead of blaming your brother for his own stupidity, you're blaming everybody else, and you're blaming alcohol and tobacco or whatever company you're going after, or group you're going after, without any, like, second guessing yourself. And you're creating, like, basically a hate speech against something. And I don't understand why, like, these are the people who make the laws, and they spend years doing this. And I understand, like, groups like Mothers Against Drunk Driving that want more severe infractions for doing it. And right now, I mean, getting a DUI is, like, worse for you than, you know, getting caught downloading something. But then again, getting caught downloading something is probably, you know, treated more harshly than murder. But, you know, it's kind of ridiculous that these people are able to kind of infiltrate the legal process And, all because they have, like, some petty vendetta against something. It's different if it's something that really affects everybody. But sometimes creating safety laws don't do anything. Like, if anything, they make people want to break the law more. Like, seriously, after I heard that the EU passed, like, you know, you can't say certain things about the Holocaust, and you can't be a denialist about it, which, frankly, you should. Who gives a shit? If someone wants to deny it, they're just stupid. But, like, I spent the entire day, like, making fun of, like, the whole, like, Holocaust, everything that happened. And sure, that makes me a bad person in some ways. But it's also, like, I think that sometimes direct opposition, even if it's, like, satirical, is what you start creating. But then you start creating, like, you know, certain kind of underground culture thing. And you see it a lot with, like underground bigotry groups and hate groups that, that do all these things, and they have to go underground. And I feel that, like, when things like that happen, sometimes it's better to have them in public, because at least you can keep an eye on them. But I think, like, outright saying, like, you can't say something, you can't do a certain thing, especially something that isn't actually physically harming someone else, I think is just absolutely absurd. So, I don't know. And, like, on top of that, telling people, like, what they can or can't put in their body is just fucking crazy. Like, I don't think people should do heroin, but if they want to, go ahead. But, like, it's the same thing. Like, why would the government intervene in assisted suicide? Like, how does that make any sense? It's not like you're saving a life. That life is probably already dying or dead already. I don't agree with, you know, allowing anybody. Like, I agree someone who's, like, actually terminal. Granted, I think that it would be better if they, you know, sent themselves to a research center and maybe try to help other people with their death, but, you know, it's just crazy. Like, why would you, like, care so much and make all these legal proceedings and talking about it and, like, criminalizing certain people for doing it, even though, like, it's just crazy. Like, I just have to say, it's pretty much the same thing with, like, you know, abortion topics and stuff like that. Like, why is it anybody's business what someone else personally does? And sure, ethically, parts of it may not be right, but that doesn't mean you just create a law against it or you try to subvert an already made decision. Like, it's understandable if the decision was a bad decision, but, like, one person or, you know, one minority group of people is not the group that anyone should listen to with regard to these kind of things. Like, I don't think that men should ever have any right to say anything in those laws. Let alone, I don't even think they should be laws. They should be, honestly, a doctor's ethical choice. Like, they take the Hippocratic Oath. It's supposed to say, to do no harm. Actually, I should probably heal. Just as a preemptive thing. Yeah. Yeah, let's heal. I'm glad I took a second to do that, otherwise somebody probably would have died. And, like, you see it a lot, too. Like, I understand things like... I'm fast-forwarding this. I hate watching this. Like, I understand making laws, like, to protect other people, like children and stuff like that, from, like, abusive parents and stuff like that. And a lot of people, like, argue, like, oh, well, some people think that, you know, it's okay to, you know, spank your child. And yeah, I think it's fine to, but there's a limit to, you know, what is, like, okay and what is, like, considered abuse. I just think that when we start blanketing laws, it creates way more problems than it solves. Again? Man, you are like Princess Buttercup, dying all the time. Then again, that curve shot and their little bomb blast thing is a little overpowered. for what it is. I mean, it takes half of his health for just one of those. But anyway, I think that when it comes to it, really the laws we should worry about is ones that really hurt other people. You know, we shouldn't concern ourselves so much with, like, things that are personal choice and stuff like that. I think that that's like the kind of line we should set. Like, honestly, if someone, you know, signs themselves over and wants to be a gladiator and risks their lives, let them. Like, I don't see what's the harm. Someone will get entertainment out of it, and I'm sure there are plenty of people willing to sign up for stuff like that. But it's one of those things that, because for some reason, I don't understand why they always say, like, morally right, morally wrong, when most of these things are, like, ambiguous whether they are right or wrong, and that's the reason why they're even drawn up in question in the first place. So, I don't know. Whoever has these, in quote, morals against things like this is just kind of silly, really. I just think it's, like, a lot of times it's religious morals, or it's like, it becomes something ethical, and I think certain ethical things should be made, they should have laws against it. Like, the guy in Enron should have just he should have to literally have slave labor until he pays back every cent. Like, has to work, like, a minimum wage job for the rest of his life. Like, not allowed to retain more than $100 at any given time. You know, things like that, that would restrict him from ever having money ever again. I mean, he's still a millionaire, and he's pretty much free and doing whatever he wants. And how is that at all fair to all the people who lost their livelihoods? And yet, we won't jump up to incriminate people that do stuff like that, because we kind of have a taboo against, you know, these, like, CEOs and actually punishing them for anything. It's like, oh, it's wrong to do that. It's wrong to do what's right, kids. No, it just sends a bad message. And, like, I don't understand, like, places that have, like, laws against... Like, it's crazy that we have freedom of speech, but you can't say fuck in public without... Like, well, you can, but, like, some police officers will go out of their way and make trouble for people because they probably don't like them or have some personal thing about cursing, and they'll really, like, get on it about it, and how, like, you can be fined by the FCC for cursing. Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't understand who really determines what's a curse word. You know, 100 years from now, we'll probably have completely different curse words that won't apply. But, you know, it's just, like, crazy that someone would actually... Again, I'm fast forwarding. That someone would, like, take the time and think that language is it, like, something you need to censor outright. I don't understand it. And then, like, the vague laws around it. Like, I mean, really, you could say damn, and you could get a $100 fine for saying damn in public. Because technically it is listed as, like, an inappropriate slang. So, or technically it's an expletive word, and all expletive words, at least in the United States, can be classified as, like, disorderly conduct and stuff like that. So it's kind of just weird. Like, why would anyone care? Like, people are going to hear it at some point. Like, again, it's putting, like, plastic on the furniture, even though there's no reason to put plastic on the furniture. It's just strange. People are weird out there. And, like, I found it even more strange that there are people who take time out of their lives and create, like, foundations to try to get rid of, like, you know, every little thing someone could do. you know, that might upset them. Like, I understand, like, at one point it was improper to curse and stuff, but it's weird, like, today you hear it all over the place. It's on TV and everywhere. So, like, I don't understand why people still have such a hard-on to, like, get rid of swearing. I mean, I could probably get a $100 fine for saying hard-on in public, because it's probably considered crass enough, or somebody could get offended by it. But, I don't know. And also, I think it's important to, like, things like drunk and disorderly. Like, I understand why they have that law, even though I know a lot of people who flaunt that law and don't care about it. Or flout, whatever. Who just don't like that law. And they break it fairly often. By acting like crazy, drunken wombat. And I understand it's meant to keep other people from getting annoyed, or you becoming a danger to yourself or other people around you while you're all loaded and, you know, doing whatever you do when you're all loaded. But, like, that doesn't prohibit anything other than, you know, I mean, it's more meant for people who are drunk and punch drunk, pretty much. You know, running around hitting people or peeing all over the place. But I don't think that, like, the inverse would be someone being like, okay, well, clearly there's a lot of drunk and disorderly people, so what we need to do is limit, people can only have, like, 3 drinks of alcohol a day. You know, and that's, like, that's where it stops making sense to me. Also, I feel like our lawmakers are just bored and making up laws as they go, trying to find anything. All about interests. But, I don't know. It's also crazy friggin' Utah not allowing people to talk about, like, gays or talk about premarital sex or anything like that. Like, that's the kind of shit that's crazy. Like, those people live in an even larger bubble. First of all, Utah is pretty crazy to begin with. I mean, come on now. It's freaking Utah. Mormons. Like, Mormons as a whole are bad, but a lot of individual Mormons are very good people. So it's very confusing. Mostly because their religion has so much politics in it, and it has so much... Ooh, look what you found. Okay. 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 Back to start. But yeah, so, I don't know. Whenever I think about, like I've met some Mormon people that are very nice. And, I don't know. A lot of them just outright say it's because there's so much politics in it, and there's so much statewide control, you get things like that springing up. So it doesn't surprise me. They're a really conservative state. I mean, frankly, if everybody wanted to have their conservative beliefs or whatever, That's fine if they did it all in one state, like, oh, this state banned this, let's move there. Oh, this state's being more liberal, let's move there. And then we'll see how it all works out, and somewhere in between the lines, we'll all be fine. Like, I just think that there's too much of people who are like, ugh. Like, I had someone send me a letter who was from, like, West Virginia talking about something in PA and wanting to pass laws that are good for West Virginia and PA, and that's just stupid. And just frightening to think about how much money and time this person put on it. It was stupid, too. It's putting the stupid stickers in science textbooks. But, I don't know. I think, at a point, people's choice just should be left out. Demon Bane armor. I may have to grind if I want to get those the talisman dolls. Wait, what was 9? There was something that had required 9 of those things. Oh, the crystal bracelet, yeah. Fuck that thing. But, I don't know. I don't think government should even be involved in people's personal affairs. Ever, under any circumstance. Then again, I guess the only other circumstance is if it hurts other people. Like if your next door neighbor is stockpiling nerve gas, I'd understand if you wanted to, you know, put something against him. But that's a whole nother can of worms. I don't know. And especially not like vague blanket laws. I've never been a fan of any of them. Because they're always abused in some way or another. People who find loopholes out of things. Yeah, okay. And I don't need anything else. Right, I'm good, actually. I thought someone used a medicine. I guess not. Alright. Let's get this damn tortoise gem. I know, I kind of ramble, I'm always going off on tangents with stuff like that, but it's some of those things where there's so many angles, it like, my brain gets all like, stirred about. Let's see you. You look like Cthulhu. Healing wings? Well, I guess I'm gonna have to save Phoenix Ripper and Onimaru's attack. Not what I meant to press. Alright, he can already hit him. So how about we just move you right here and let them try to move up a space. Whee! So... I shouldn't have given that to her. I thought evasion was something else. Or quality range. Alright, let me guess they're not going to move. Dicks. I like his little belly button. Alright. I wish I had Hikoichi. Hikochi, whatever. Defensive wall. No, I said move. Ooh. Fuck yeah. Flash them assholes. Hottie Nanako. Oh, I thought I hit the other one too. Oh well. Whatever. No big deal. But, I don't know. I also think it's crazy to create laws to say, like, you can't talk about something in school. Like, I understand there's certain things that might offend people or whatever, but school's about learning. So maybe they'll learn not to be offensive about it. Or they'll understand the other side. Don't understand why. Like, I understand it would get real annoying if you could talk about religion, because guaranteed you'd have a preacher there, like, every other day, like, coming in to be like, I'm here to talk to students. Like, I can see that terrible future. It's already bad enough that a lot of schools allow them to drop off, like, religious pamphlets and tracts, like, after school. But, like, there's a difference between, like, talking about them and being, like, inflammatory. And that's both sides. Like, oftentimes in a situation, I've seen more religious people get inflammatory right out. And be like, well, you're going to hell. Or, you know, something ridiculously inflammatory, like, right out of the gate. Like, or you're wrong, or you're living the wrong way. And it's like, that's always where things start going south, and I think that's why they don't bother talking about it, or, like, not allowing it in schools and stuff. And I understand, you know, government institutions and all that. But it's more like, people don't know how to talk civilly anymore. And, you know, this whole don't talk about things and they don't happen, especially if you don't talk about, say, religion in history class. How are you going to understand how it fit in and how it made sense at one point, and how, for some people, that was the only, you know, saving grace for a very long time? Like, why not talk about it? Like, it's still history. It's human history. You can't just blot it out because some people might cry about it. Like, I mean, it's again, like the Holocaust. Like, you can deny that the Holocaust happens, but that makes you look like a jackass. So, I don't know. Is that all that's going to start happening in all these battles? Is just like, oh, by the way, more enemies. But I was thinking open dialogue is important. But especially when it comes to, like, you know, sex and sex ed and protecting yourself and stuff like that. Like, what do they think will happen if you just don't talk about it? Like, it's not like if tomorrow nobody talked about gay people, nobody would be gay anymore. Like, people will still be gay. Like, get over it. Like, that's just the way things are. I think it's absolutely insane to assume that, like, you know, like, people being so quick to blame, like, media for, like, all this crazy stuff. And it's just like, no. Like, again, it's the psychopath. It's the person who does something on TV because they're too stupid to figure it out. Like, there's a big difference between that person and the person who's, like, born a certain way. But they think that that psychopath is the same as the normal person that's just living out their life. Like, we actually had a debate earlier about whether RuPaul was gay or was just a transvestite. Like, there is a difference. Most people don't know it. But if you talked about something like that in sex ed class, at least be a little bit more helpful. I mean, come on now. Because there's a stigma about men wearing women's clothes, they're transvestites. Like, if both sexes wore pretty much the same clothes, there wouldn't be transvestites. Like, it would be a perfectly, like, normal thing. Like, it's the same thing, like, French freaking lords asking women to wear pants because it was so wrong and naughty for women to wear pants. Like, it's silly. Like, not talking about it and censoring things just makes people wonder more and want to do more. And even worse, then you get, like, unsafe stuff. I mean, if you at least told gay people, like, a proper lube to use, they wouldn't blow out their O-ring when they're, like, 20. So, at least you'd be helping them. Or even worse, they wouldn't go to, like, some place or, you know, some shifty way of, you know, discovering their sexuality. I think it'd be a lot better to at least have an open dialogue about it. And, like, on top of that, like, premarital sex is how everybody got here. Like, everyone here has someone in their lineage that had premarital sex. That's just the way it is. You know, you can't argue it. Like, that's everyone did. Like, there was a time before marriage where that kind of stuff happened. So you can't just say it never happened, because it did. And then you're being like a crazy denialist about things nonetheless. But it's like, that's just like the way it is, and I don't understand why people think it's such a horrific thing and that it shouldn't be talked about, because it's not going to make people like go have premarital sex because you talk about premarital sex. Like, people are going to do it if they want to have sex anyway, so why are you being such a retard about it? I shouldn't say retard, that's insensitive. I should say specially handicapped? I have no idea. Mentally challenged? But I don't know, it takes a special sort of mental midgetry to, you know, think that if you just put blinders over someone's eyes, they won't do it. But then again, if it does work, then you've got an even bigger problem on your hand. And opt-out classes. We had an opt-out policy in my high school, and that was the worst idea ever, because people, regardless if they actually believed in whatever religion allowed them to opt out of taking, you know, science classes or sex ed classes, they pretty much, anyone would just be like, oh yeah, I'm Christian, I'm taking science, and you'd pass. You'd get a free pass. So basically, instead of getting an A, B, you know, C or D or whatever, you would just get a pass, saying that you successfully completed the course, even though you didn't. You never even took it. So, like, it boggles my mind that they let that go on for so long before they actually stopped it in a lot of school districts, because they knew it was just such a bad idea. But, I don't know, I just, like, I would watch people just be like, oh yeah, screw this, we're not going to science class. Like, I don't think schools should make any exception. Alright, let's go ahead and smack him once and see how much damage he takes. Oh, he's pretty squishy. Is anybody really badly hurt? She's pretty badly hurt. He's hurt. Well, not Megarichi, he's not hurt. Yeah, there's enough people here hurt. I don't know. It's not like people should force people, but like, when reality's knocking, you know, I think that these people should be, like, if you don't pass, like, a basic sex ed, if you don't pass a basic science, if you don't pass a basic math, if you don't pass a basic English, you don't graduate. You can't graduate. Like, no state minimum, like, you have to take this science course that has this curriculum. And that's it. There's no pussyfooting about it. There's no, well, it's against my religion. No, it's not. Nowhere in your religion does it say you're not allowed to learn about science. Like, nowhere. There is no religion that says that. is all, you know, in your head or in your pastor's mouth, but it's not reality. So I don't understand why we let these people go on to college, and they're just like, you know, some people who try really hard but aren't that good in science are like, oh, I got a D, and people frown upon it, and they're like, oh, and then somebody else goes, and they're like, oh, you passed it? That's fine. You can go ahead. Like, I think it's just stupid. I just don't think there should be any special treatment. I didn't even need to use his Frenzy Slice because this thing's so damn weak. Owned and a half. I thought he was like a boss. Woohoo! Alright. Unfortunately, that's all for this episode of Let's Play Onimusha Tactics with me, Mark Dice. See you later!